You're good. Now, was that a reminder, or was that like you didn't see that we were live? Okay, because I hit go live right around the 7-minute mark, and I spoke for a few minutes. Okay. All right, thank you.
Always something. Once again, we are live from Iceworks in Syosset for LA Sports Network's coverage of Farmingdale State College hockey. Tonight's AAU Division II matchup featuring the Empire State Divisional matchup between bitter rival Sacred Heart. It's their Division II team take on the Farmingdale Division II team. Sacred Heart played Farmingdale's Division I squad earlier this year, losing in blowout fashion 9-2. Meanwhile, Farmingdale's Division II team played Sacred Heart's developmental squad earlier this year in a high-scoring bout, defeating the Devi squad by a score of 12-4, with 8 different skaters getting in the goal column in that one. And this is the first of 2 meetings between these two teams, the latter taking place in February at Martire Arena in Connecticut. We will step aside briefly for the national anthem. You're listening to LI Sport Network. It's coverage of AA2 Division II hockey. And with the conclusion of the national anthem, we are set for puck drop. In Farmingdale's last game, they defeated Fordham University by a score of 6-4. Meanwhile, way back on October 27th, Sacred Heart fell to the hands of Stony Brook University's Division III team by a score of 6-2. A ceremonial puck drop between a former military man. Two captains, James Jensen and Jason Benante. Pose for the ceremonial puck drop. Tonight in Syosset at Iceworks. A boisterous crowd and a great atmosphere. And with that, we are set for puck drop. As I was mentioning, Farmingdale coming off a 6-4 win against Fordham. The last time they were at home at Iceworks, they fell to the hands of Newman University by a score of 6-3. Again, trying to right the ship following two straight losses are Sacred Heart, one in which to the Division I team of Farmingdale, another to a Division III team of Stony Brook. Take a look at the standings. Farmingdale first place, 8-3-2. Sacred Heart 6-6. As we are underway here in this one. And the puck is fired deep into the Sacred Heart end. Trying to get up forward, and they come in, and pausing, centering try. Great save by Richardson early on. It was a great setup from Ryan Walsh. Walsh back on it now. Plays it around behind the Farmingdale net. Barry Burke was on it for a moment. Now it comes free to the neutral zone. Fired right back in by the captain, Jason Benante. On it there for Farmingdale, Louis Saccone. Saccone lost it for a moment before chipping it up the boards, where it could be eventually carried and flipped out of the zone. Good early chance for Sacred Heart here in this one. Benante fires it right back out into the Farmingdale end, where it can be settled down and controlled by Manzi. Manzi plays it to his partner, who fires it up the zone and eventually kicks back into the Sacred Heart end. Well, they will try to reset. Good forecheck, though, by Christopher DeAndrea. He's been on quite the heater. 10 points in just 6 games played for Farmingdale. Shot from the point blocked. Potential break the other way. Moving in is Keon. Shot wide. Missed the breakaway shot wide. Comes back to the point. Benante. Pad save made Richardson. Comes to the corner where it's controlled by Anthony Garase. And eventually finds its way out of play. Richardson tested twice, making 2 exceptional saves here to start this one. Sloppy start for Farmingdale, allowing the odd man rush, the breakaway. Face off to the right of Richardson. One back by Sacred Heart, but a good defensive play by Farmingdale, and they'll chip it out themselves. DeAndrea. Good defensive play, though, by John Campbell to take it away from him. It's back to the Farmingdale end. They'll try to reset, but turn it over. Batted out of midair, and eventually Arthur Merviak plays it up for Farmingdale and chipped into the zone deep. Luke LaFata in after it. Playing it away from him, though, was Campbell. Tries the far side, it deflects, and eventually comes out. Turned over and sent right back the other way by Michael Malandrucolo. Sacred Heart reset. But a nice pinch by Arthur Merviak at the red line keeps it from going any further. Farmingdale send in. Forechecking hard was Reed Facette, but a nice play by Sacred Heart to play it away from him. and try it up the near side boards, and it is cleared. Comes all the way back into the Farmingdale end. Well, they will reset. Kicked into the zone for the moment by Farazi. Comes back to the neutral zone, and now here comes Sacred Heart. Murphy plays it across. Shot pad save by Richardson. Off the stick of Mazzito. Played out by Farmingdale, and the Rams started up the other way. Moving in with speed for Ozzy. That shot gets blocked and immediately flipped out of the zone. Fired right back in by Saccone, but only as far as coning. Eventually, it finds its way back in deep in the Sacred Heart end. Farmingdale goes for a change. Chipped out into the neutral zone, fired right back into the said neutral zone by Donald Pace. Scrum on the near side boards, and we get a whistle for an offside. .16:51 remaining in period number 1. Tyler Wadicka on to take the draw and winning said draw. But a turnover, chance for Sacred Heart, and a save made by Richardson. Face off to the right of the aforementioned Farmingdale State netminder. Draw going to be taken and won forward by Sacred Heart. Now controlled by Farmingdale, they look to break it out. That misconnects, looking for Pace now. Pace on it. Pace sauces one in front, but steered away neatly from Ian Riberich. Comes to the far side boards. Continued forechecking from Farmingdale. Look to try to create more turnovers, some more space. A real good job from Sacred Heart, rather, from shutting down Farmingdale from really getting anything going offensively early in this one. The Rams try to clear on the near side, wouldn't go. Nice play there by Noah O'Neill, and eventually he comes free. Regathered in the neutral zone and flipped back the other way. Into the possession of Farmingdale. They'll turn it up the other way. Again, having a tough time really getting into the Sacred Heart zone with any kind of momentum. It's turned over, and Sacred Heart will fire it out the other way. Misconnects, and now skating it in is Dixon. Brendan Dixon fires. Great save made. Making his first real save of the game there is James Birch. That was his first save of the game. Puck goes all the way down for an icing. And we'll come all the way back in deep in the Sacred Heart end. No score yet here in this one. Face-off won by Farmingdale, but carried out by Sacred Heart. Moving in with speed the other way, Barry Burke. Goes down low. Edward Jackson there for Sacred Heart. But a good defensive play by Farmingdale. Fires it up the near side. It's kept in for the moment. Batted out of midair and recollected by Walsh. Walsh, spinorama, poked off his stick and out of the zone. Sent right back in on Richardson, where it could be controlled by Slattery. Slattery plays it up the boards. Chipped out of the zone by Farmingdale. Sent right back in by Sacred Heart. Lena on the far side has it for Farmingdale. He's met by a couple of Sacred Heart players as they look to work it free, and they do so only for a moment before it can be sent in back deep and onto the stick of Lena, who cannot get it out on the first try, but gets it out on the second. Turned right back over, though, by Farmingdale. Coming in with speed. With speed is Benante. Puts one in front. No one on the other end of it. Lena tries to clear it out. It takes a weird hop off the glass, right back where it came from, and it's still in the zone. Flipped in deep. Sacred Heart going to work behind the Farmingdale net. Played out in front, and a brilliant defensive play made by Nick D'Alessandro to break up that chance. Not out of trouble yet, though. Still in the Farmingdale end. Lena will once again try to get it out, this time on the near side. Kept in for the moment. Now it's out. And moving in with speed is Nick D'Alessandro. Comes back to D'Alessandro over his stick. As that sauce proved to be too much. Comes all the way out to the neutral zone where it's fired back in, while Farmingdale touch up. Played out of the zone by Sacred Heart, and this will go all the way down. On goal, no icing. Played by Richardson to the near side. Backhanded out there by Lavoie. Lavoie skating in with it now with some speed. Lavoie shot. Save made by Birch, and he will hold. 13:24 remaining in period number 1. Still no score yet in this one. Face off to the left of Birch. Won by Farmingdale. Shot off the draw by DeAndrea, and getting the blocker on it was Birch. What a save. Scrum commences at the near side corner, deep in the Sacred Heart end, and finally Sacred Heart able to work it free and out of the zone. Only as far as Merviak, who sends it right back where it came from. Chipped into the Sacred Heart end. No time to play it. Smart play, though, to get it out there. Recollected by Merviak. Held up by DeAndrea, who fires in. Forechecking hard after it. Luke Lafata comes out, though. Only as far as DeAndrea, who turns it right back the other way. DeAndrea plays it. Shot! Save made off the stick of Lafata. And Birch will hold on. Birch has been perfect so far in this one, as has Luke Richardson on the other end of the ice. Both goaltenders now facing 4 shots. Face off to the right of the Sacred Heart netminder. Won by Farmingdale. Chipped down low. Try to play it out to the near side was Matt Strano. Farmingdale regather control. Comes back to the point for a shot. Doesn't get through. And Sacred Heart turn it up the other way. Backhanded out of the zone and clogged up in the neutral zone by Lafata. Eventually it works its way in deep in the Farmingdale end. Michael D'Alessandro had it for a moment, comes back out in front and played away from the front of the net. It's a good play by Saccone. Farmingdale out with speed. Lafata goes to the outside. Centers one and unable to follow through with it. Great chance for Joseph Castellano. Tied for the leading goal scorer for Farmingdale as Lena fires right back on goal and Birch plays it to the side. Sacred Heart come away with it. Up the near side boards comes Brendan Murphy. Sends in, Lena on it, chips it out to center, where it can be settled down by Body. Plays it across and eventually works its way right back in the Farmingdale end. Lena on it once more. Turns it over. Chance now the other way, and Lena making up for his mistake by getting in the way of that chance. Big time opportunity for Luke Body. Farmingdale, get it out. It's a breakaway. Donnie paces in. He shoots. He scores. Donnie Pace opens the scoring for Farmingdale. They lead 1-0. We'll certainly take another look at this one. Beautiful chip out of the zone, and Pace is in from the red line in. Beautiful shot, high glove, exactly where it needed to be. And it's 1-0 in favor of the Rams. Face-off was won momentarily by Sacred Heart, entering the zone, but offside. Assisting the Pace goal was Tyler Wadika. And right now, that's the only credited assist on the goal. Played back in the Farmingdale end, chipped out by Merviak. Gets past Jason Benante and all the way down. Played there by James Jensen around to the far side. Chipped in. It's a good play from Michael Malandrucolo. Comes to the near side. And Sacred Heart will get it out. And neatly getting around everyone and potentially drawing a penalty there was Ryan Walsh. He does, in fact, draw said penalty. Had a stick caught up in his midsection. Walsh back on it, and eventually Farmingdale touch up, and we'll see the game's first power play go to Sacred Heart. At a crucial juncture of this game, a chance to tie it up. Heading to the box for Farmingdale is Merviak, Arthur Merviak. The defenseman goes off. Power play opportunity, Sacred Heart. Face off to the right of Richardson. Edward Jackson to take the draw. And another false start. Jackson chased. Walsh to take the draw now. And he'll win it. Back it comes to the point. Fires, save, rebound, loose. Still loose and played out and all the way down. Huge chance early for Sacred Heart, and Richardson slammed the door shut. Moving his way up the ice, his body. But a good play to knock him off the puck was by Kevin Manzi. Sacred Heart come right back in. Looking for a call was Walsh once again. Does not get a second call, and it's cleared out by Farmingdale. Sacred Heart recollect. Jack Kinahan. He's met with resistance, and it's cleared all the way down the ice by Kevin Manzi. Luke Body recollects deep in his own end with just about a minute to go on the man advantage. Body weaves his way through this Farmingdale defense. Body plays it all the way around where it could be settled down by Barry Burke. Now back for Body. Plays it now to Brendan Murphy. Back up top to Body. Body shot, deflected, and rolls wide. Scrum in the corner, one out by Sacred Heart. Centering feed just goes wide. Walsh missed it. Beautiful opportunity, shot it wide. 30 seconds remaining on the power play. 8:55 to go in the period. Farmingdale still lead at 1-0. Thomas Bayer carries up for Sacred Heart. Slows down, sends it back. Barry Burke across. Controlled by Mazzarito. Came to Birch. Now back for Burke. And across for Mazzarito. His shot looks like it glanced off Richardson and deflected wide. Back in control of Burke. His shot or pass blocked and out of the zone it goes. Foot race. Does Ian Riberich have the speed? He does not. And it's fired right back the other way. No icing. Where it could be played on further by Brian Slattery. Intercepted for the moment by Noah O'Neill. Played around. And the power play is over. Farmingdale kill off the game's first power play. That one goes off a Sacred Heart player and back out the other way. 2-on-1 developing. Shot from DeAndrea. Save made by Birch. Sacred Heart the other way. Sliding players going down. Farmingdale started back up. Moving in. Nice move. Can he get back to it? Chips it. And a save made by Birch. Rebound loose. He's swimming back there in the crease. But Farmingdale unable to take advantage. Okay, that was a great play by Noah Lavoie. Makes something out of nothing. Shot from Lena deflects high and wide. Luke Lafata looked like he got a piece, and Lena retreats into his own end. And Farmingdale start another rush up the ice. DeAndrea, that's blocked. Recollected by Lavoie. Played back to the point, held in. There's the shot, and a glove save made. And no stick for Birch out there as well. Kept alive at the blue line by Slattery, but eventually it comes free. All the way back down for Lena, who pokes it right back out. Will try to chip it back out and successfully does so. Disagreeing with the offsides call was Liam Joy, but the linesman has the authority in that situation. 6:52 to go, period number 1, 1-0. Farmingdale State College Rams leading Sacred Heart. Reed Facette to take the draw against the aforementioned Liam Joy. Won by Facette. Farmingdale reset. Look to come up the ice. Facette took a big hit there. It's turned over, and firing right back the other way is Bonante. Bonante fires it around. Controlled for the moment. Battle involving Anthony Grasse. Comes back to the near side, and Farmingdale have a much clearer path to clear it. But it goes all the way down the ice and becomes an icing, and Merviak will want that one back. An unforced error for Farmingdale brings the faceoff back down and in their own end. Faceoff to the left of Richardson. Won by Edward Jackson. Comes free to Walsh. Walsh plays it back down low for Jackson. Jackson back out to the point. Body for Walsh. Walsh, nice spin move. Another good move. Plays it further down low, back to Jackson. And now Walsh fires it off the side of the net. Comes all the way to the near side, where it can be held in by Edward Jackson. Now back down low for Burke. Burke, shot save made off the stick of Jackson and flipped out of the zone by Farmingdale. Sacred Heart trying to send it right back in. Nice little play, though, by Brendan Dixon to prevent that from happening. And Dixon picks it up down low. Dixon around the net. Centering feed. Here's a shot. Deflects over the net. Big opportunity created by Brendan Dixon, the captain of Farmingdale State Division II hockey. Face-off coming to the left of the Sacred Heart netminder. Dixon remains. He'll take the draw, and he'll win it. Kept alive and sent around by Farmingdale. Comes to the near side boards, and where it could be chipped out by Sacred Heart. Recollected by Louis Saccone. Sends it across to his partner and receives it back. Saccone up the near side boards. It's Jensen for Dixon. Across, shot! Scores! Delayed reaction. It's a beautiful goal off the stick of Nick D'Alessandro. Fortunately, just catching the end of that. 2-0, Farmingdale leading Sacred Heart. Beautiful little tic-tac-toe goal. I didn't see it go in. A lot of the players didn't see it go in either. Believe the first one to see it go in was Jensen. He celebrated first on that left wing side. Sacred Heart send right back in. They find themselves in a bit of a hole, now down by 2. Played neatly behind the net, banking it ahead, but it's kept alive at the blue line by Sacred Heart. Dixon now controls. He'll try the other side and will succeed in getting it out. Fired right back across, and getting there just in time was Dixon to prevent a turnover. Nevertheless, Sacred Heart sent it right back in. Controlled by Louis Saccone. He'll send it right back around for his defensive partner. It's Michael D'Alessandro. Eventually it comes free to the neutral zone. Played by John Campbell now of Sacred Heart. Spins one up the far side wing to Jake Kalani. And eventually it's chipped forward. Collected by Jack Kinahan. His shot deflects wide. Held in at the blue line by Colin Birch. Spelled differently from the goaltender, by the way. It's B-I-R-C-H. B-U-R-T-C-H. The spelling of the goaltender in net for Sacred Heart. Eventually it comes back. John Campbell. Outlets to Jack Kinahan, who turns it over. Good forecheck there from Ian Riberich. And eventually the puck deflects all the way back down into the Sacred Heart end and becomes an icing. .3:27 to go. Period number 1, 2-0. Farmingdale State College Rams leading Sacred Heart. First of 2 matchups they'll see each other this year. Across all levels, Farmingdale is yet to lose to Sacred Heart. Faceoff was won And there's a turnaround shot and a save made. Good shot by Tyler Wadika. And a nice save made by Birch. Puck comes to the far side, looking to clear. And doing so, Sacred Heart, only though as far as Kevin Manzi, and they'll fire right back out. Moving in with it, Donnie Pace, a cross shot, score! What a goal, what a shot! Tyler Wadika, 3-0 Farmingdale. See it again. It just looks even better on the instant replay. Tyler Wadika rips it past Birch, giving Farmingdale State a 3-0 cushion here in period number 1. Just under 3 minutes to go in said period. And they've got a comfy 3-goal lead. It's been opportunities off the rush. Sacred Heart earlier in the game were doing such a good job of preventing what we just saw from happening. And they're going to have to try to get back to that form if they're going to get back here in this one. Deflected just at the red line, so no icing. Lena plays it to Manzi. Manzi ahead for the goal scorer, Wadika. His second point of the game, already with a goal and assist. Comes to the far side boards. Donnie Pace picking up his second point of the game as well, assisting that goal. It's Luke LaFata. It actually played back for Merviak. His shot deflects wide. Gathered in the corner and turned over to Ryan Walsh. Walsh plays it around for Edward Jackson, who will bank it out of the zone where it can be recollected by Michael Malandrucolo. He'll play it across for Merviak. Merviak was looking for an outbreaking pass to DeAndrea, misconnects and becomes an icing. Minute 49 to go, period number 1. If Sacred Heart want to get back in this one, a goal here would be critical in these final minute 49 seconds of the period. They've had their chances, but have not beaten Richardson to this point. They win the faceoff in the offensive zone, but immediately turn it over, and it comes right back out. Koning, try to play up the near side boards, does, finds Kalani, and Sacred Heart turn it right back over, though. Farmingdale trying to send it in deep. It's caught at the blue line and eventually freed for a one-time shot by DeAndrea and a save made by Birch. Just a 50-50 battle at the blue line on the far side. Won by Farmingdale, creates that opportunity, and feeling very confident. And 10 points in 2 games, 8 points in, 10 points in 6 games, 8 points in those last 2 games for DeAndrea, as the faceoff is won by Sacred Heart. They're unable to clear. Thomas Bayer will give it a shot on the, shifting it to the near side, but he turns it over. Chance now for Castellano. Sends it back to the point for a shot. Deflection just wide. Rebound trying to put banked off the goaltender. Not successful though. Kept alive by Michael Malandrucolo. Around the net for a wraparound chance by Luke Ferrazzi, and that's saved. Merviak playing it in front and swept across by Facette. Eventually it comes and is banked out of the zone. Merviak back to play it for Farmingdale, plays it to the near side boards, collected for the moment and cleared by Malandrucolo. Sacred Heart come away with it. O'Neal moves in and that shot gets deflected. It's a pop-up that is caught by Richardson, and we see a little extracurricular activity here. And I'm not talking science club. See the officials sort this one out. We're going to see a couple players head off the ice. Brandon Koning heads off for Sacred Heart. Michael Malandrucolo heads off for Farmingdale. The face-off comes all the way back down deep in the Sacred Heart end. At least that's where most of the players are gathered. And it appears the only player getting a penalty here is the Sacred Heart player, Brandon Koenig. Fascinating stuff. And they even it up now. Koenig, pardon me, for Sacred Heart, gets assessed a penalty, as does Malandrukalo. They'll skate 4 aside, and Sacred Heart is offside. .24 seconds remain in the period. Face-off won by Sacred Heart, played back and intercepted. James Jensen back on it now for Farmingdale. Plays it across for Louis Saccone. Plays it back to his defensive partner, now up for Brendan Dixon. It's turned over. Sacred Heart start up the other way. Edward Jackson moves in. That shot deflects up and over. A good stick by Michael D'Alessandro of Farmingdale to deflect that one out of play. A singular second remains in period number 1. Will we see the Immaculate here off the draw? We will not. Oh, spoke too soon. That shot whistled wide and had enough time to be considered a goal. And that concludes action here, period number 1. A great period for Farmingdale. Took a little while to get going, but once it did, it certainly went. Starting off, a breakaway goal for Donnie Pace, assisted by Watica. Nick D'Alessandro was the next one to get a goal from Dixon and Jensen. And then Watica once more from Donnie Pace, returning the favor. And that'll do it here for period number 1. Stick around for the rest of this one in period number 2 coming up after these messages. You're listening to LI Sports Network. I'm Ryan Brownigan. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Iceworks in Syosset. And we're underway here in period number 2. Into the Farmingdale end it goes. We're still 4 aside from those penalties carrying over from the first period. Played back. Nick D'Alessandro has it behind the Farmingdale end, turns it over. Good forechecking play. Now Walsh sends it to the back. Body. Fires wide. Careens off the board, settled down by Dixon. And the captain will carry it to center. Dixon, unable to enter the zone, comes back to the neutral zone. Louis Saccone on it. Flips it across for D'Alessandro. Looks to fire it ahead, intercepted by Jack Kinahan. Started back up the other way, but a good chip prevents a rush up the ice from Sacred Heart. Walsh carries in and met with resistance and chipped out of the zone. Sacred Heart have to reset in their own end. Playing it back there, Marazito, rather. That one comes all the way back down and becomes an icing. Get the clock straightened out here. Certainly not 27 minutes remaining in period number 2. 8 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in period number 2. And we're back to even strength. Face off to the left of Birch. Won by Farmingdale. Set play off the draw, deflected wide. Kept alive by the defenseman Manzi. Lavoie tried to play it out of the scrum. Recollected by D'Andrea, but taken back the other way by Walsh. Pardon me, Benante. Benante on it. Benante shot, pad save by Richardson. And Farmingdale start up the other way. Comes to the near side. D'Andrea in with speed, looking for help. Centers one just out of the reach of the streaking Luke Lafata. Sacred Heart fire it right back in the Farmingdale end. And they'll try to get the forecheck going. Played behind the net. William Hayes was there for the moment. Comes to the far side boards. Shot off the stick of Colin Birch, gets blocked. Comes back around. Noah O'Neill continuing to try to press for Sacred Heart. 3 aside, or 3 for Farmingdale, 2 for Sacred Heart. Did battle at the far side boards. 1 out by Farmingdale. Comes to center. Flicked right back in the Farmingdale end. Lena plays it forward, out of the reach of D'Andrea, and back onto the stick of Colin Birch, and we get a whistle. Going to have a penalty here, I believe. Yeah, heading off for Sacred Heart. Their assistant captain, Brendan Murphy. Power play Farmingdale, a chance to extend their lead. Face-off 1. Cleared out, however, by Sacred Heart, the length of the ice. Ferrazzi on it for Farmingdale. Plays it to Castellano. Back to Ferrazzi, who enters the zone with speed and looks for help. Ferrazzi on the far side boards, coming around the net. Centering feed blocked. Good stick, but back on the stick of Ferrazzi. Played across. Lavoie to Ferrazzi. Ferrazzi at the point. Back on the far side wall to Lavoie, who'll cut in behind the net. Lavoie now to Dixon. Brendan Dixon, back to Lavoie. Good job by Sacred Heart keeping Farmingdale to the outside. Now comes back to the point. Now Lavoie, centering try. Good stick, preventing that from getting to the front of the net where James Jensen was. Played at the far side boards, kept in for the moment, now chipped out of the zone with speed. Jackson cuts in and a good defensive play made by Farmingdale, and they'll reset back in their own end on the stick of Noah Lavoie. Carried and moving in for the shot and a glove save and deflects out of play. Great shot from Joseph Castellano. Good glove save made by Birch. 15:36 remaining in period number 2. 41 seconds remaining on the power play. Puck gets cleared out. Turned over for the moment, but Farmingdale able to get it back. Streaking up with speed. Carrying over and looking for some help with Saccone. Deflects all the way across Facette, forechecking hard on Luke Body. Scrum continues. It's worked free by Farmingdale. To the back for Lena. Gives across for the shot on the far side. Snagged by Birch, and he'll hold. 6 seconds now remaining on the Farmingdale power play. Face off, one forward by Farmingdale, collected by Sacred Heart, but kept in at the blue line. Eventually, Sacred Heart repossess and take it back. In with speed, Garase. Behind the net Body for Sacred Heart. They look to try to get something going here in period number 2. That shot deflects off a stick and out of play. .38 remaining in period number 2. Back to even strength for this offensive zone draw for Sacred Heart. Won by Sacred Heart, but it comes just out of the zone. Body unable to hold in. Sacred Heart offside. Now they touch up. Farmingdale try to clear it out the near side. And will do so. Moving in with speed. And a nice play, though, by Body to cut off Donnie Pace. Played behind by the captain, Jason Benante. Centering try does not go. Combined centering feed and try there to get centering fry. Anyway, Farmingdale have it back. Lose it for the moment. Benante keeps it going around the other side. For Anthony Garase, he's unable to get it out. That shot from the point deflects to the corner, where it could be controlled by Riberich. That's not out. Comes to the blue line for a shot. Stick save made by Birch, and it goes out of play. Good continued forecheck from Farmingdale as they look to add to their 3-0 lead. Face off to the left. Rather to the right of Birch and net. One forward by Farmingdale. There's a shot. Another save made by Birch and gives James Jensen a little shove there. These two teams do not like each other. That's for sure. And if the game gets out of hand, we'll see that even more as the face-off won in the defensive end by Sacred Heart. They'll try the near side. It's kept alive for the moment, but comes out of the zone. Doing his best to hold it in, but unable to do so with Slattery. Meanwhile, offside are Sacred Heart as they had a 3-on-2 going the other way and more extracurricular activity. This time it's between Brian Slattery and Victor Dorico. Officials aren't going to take either player off. The face-off just outside the Farmingdale end. Won by Ryan Walsh, but taking control, Farmingdale. Here's Jensen, moves in, shot! Save made. Looking behind him there was Birch. He kept it out and more pushing and shoving after the whistle. This time getting into it once again, Victor Dorico, and more stuff happening in the corner. And looks like the officials are going to take off a player here. Making his way over to the bench appears. And into the penalty box, James Jensen. He leads Farmingdale in penalty minutes this year. Silly little penalty. Going to get a cross-checking penalty. Face-off, of course, coming down deep in the Farmingdale end. Roughing the call. Face-off kept alive there by Sacred Heart, but finally it goes all the way down the ice. Good clear to start the penalty, the penalty kill for Farmingdale. Kinahan plays it back to Body. Stick goes flying. That was Donnie Paces. Meanwhile, Body centers one. Eventually comes to Brendan Murphy. Plays it to the back for a shot wide off the stick of Kinahan. Walsh around the net for Sacred Heart. Controls at the far side. Looking for somewhere to go with the puck. Finds that in the form of Kinahan. Now Walsh, shot, save made Richardson. Battle the far side boards, won by Farmingdale, and they'll clear it the length of the ice. Birch fires it right back out, Igor Shesterkin style, and Sacred Heart come away with it, but it's shipped out of the zone. Manzi fires it the rest of the way, and Farmingdale get a wholesale change. Murphy carries out for Sacred Heart, backhands one across for Walsh. Stick handles and lost it. And trying to start it up the other way for a shorthanded opportunity was Ian Riberich. Eventually he was separated from the puck, and Sacred Heart regather control. Moving in with it now, Edward Jackson, centering feed. Eventually got on the stick of Murphy, but he was redirected it wide. Battle commencing at the far side boards. A lot of checking. Merviak pinning the puck to the far side corner and playing it free to his teammate. Dixon. It's not out though, kept alive by Marazito rather. Still not out of the zone. An entire battle was occurring in the corner. No calls were coming from it. Play continued on, and eventually Richardson held on. Back to even strength. Another penalty kill for Farmingdale. Farmingdale win the faceoff and skate it out. DeAndrea first on it. He gets upended by John Campbell. Meanwhile, play continues, and a save made by Birch, and more chirping after the whistle by Birch. DeAndrea is a big guy, and he got absolutely upended by John Campbell. Face-off in the offensive zone, won and controlled by Farmingdale, played across, nobody on the other end of it. DeAndrea had a chance at it, and it's chipped out of the zone. Right back in they go. Lavoie to his backhand, centering off the side of the net. Lavoie sticking with it, forcing his way to the front, unable to get anything going from it. DeAndrea played to the front, one-timer, and not getting all of that shot was Lafata, but the pad save was made by Birch. Campbell skates forward for Sacred Heart, lost it, and it's flicked out of the zone by Farmingdale. Only as far as Colin Birch and Sacred Heart fire it right back in. Farmingdale looked to clear, and a nice little play made in order to do so. In with speed, Lafata, that's broken up. Started up the other way with speed is Benante. Benante around everyone, moves in, and the puck did not go! And we get a whistle. What a save by Richardson as he denies the captain, Jason Benante. who in the process ran over Richardson. Take another look at that last sequence real quick. What a play by Jason Minate as he splits the D. Oh, gets around both to his back end, tries to take it back to the forehand, and a beautiful kick save by Richardson. And they're going to take Benante off. Once again, Farmingdale will go back to the power play. They've yet to convert on said power play. Some profanity being thrown around from the Sacred Heart bench. Just under 10 minutes to go, period number 2. Face off deep in the Sacred Heart end. Chance for Farmingdale to really put the dagger here in this one. Dixon to take the draw. Wins it. Lavoie. Back to Dixon. Plays it now across to Farazi. Moves in. Now back for Dixon. That shot gets blocked. Nice block getting in the lane by Jackson. Meanwhile, Lavoie recollects for Farmingdale. Now Dixon shot from the point. That deflection attempt would not go. Jensen standing in front of the net, getting harassed, and eventually the puck will come all the way out. Skated free, and a nice play there by John Campbell. Campbell takes it back into his own end before spinning one off the boards, where it could be taken back by Farmingdale. They'll reset. Jensen to Lavoie. Back to Jensen, who sends it back in deep. Chasing that one down is Castellano. Flipped up, Farazi, now for Dixon. Backhands one off a Sacred Heart player. Finds its way back to Farazi. That pass intercepted and carried out. Body the other way for Sacred Heart, shorthanded. Carries into the corner and around the Farmingdale net. Spins one on, it gets blocked. Farmingdale come away with it. Dixon with speed. 3-on-3 across the blue line. Dixon waiting, backhands one in the slot shot. Oh, save made! Fabulous stop by Birch. Keeps it a 3-goal lead. .41 seconds remaining on the Farmingdale power play. That their best chance of said power play. And a miraculous stop by Birch in net for Sacred Heart. Face-off won by Farmingdale once more. Comes to the back. Another good pass down low on the far side. Saccone. Looking for a lane. Now back to the point. Their shot gets blocked. Saccone on it once more. Played across for Lena. Lena fires that one in off a Sacred Heart player. Tried for a little cute pass across was Colin Cross. No one was on the other end of it, and we get another whistle. Do we see another penalty here? I think we do. It's Colin Cross going off for Farmingdale, and that will end the power play. Will be 4 aside for 11 seconds. It's a roughing penalty assessed to Cross. 11 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey before a minute and 49 seconds of a power play for Sacred Heart bearing any other calls. Face off deep in the zone, deep in Farmingdale's end, to the left of goaltender Richardson. Jackson gets thrown out of the draw, but it's won by Walsh. Jackson back on it. In the corner, it's Kinahan. Playing it back to the point. Body for Kinahan. Now Body. That one just missed Ryan Walsh, who will recollect in the corner. And cut into the net before playing it back out to the point, where it could be controlled once more by Kinahan. Now Walsh back to Kinahan for the shot. Blocked. Redirected out in front. And oh, great save by Richardson after the puck got redirected back on the stick of Walsh. Body That shot save, rebounds loose out in front. Sacred Heart unable to get onto it. Rolls to the far corner and cleared. .59 seconds remaining on the power play for Sacred Heart. They have it in deep. Back to the point, Kinahan playing it down low for Body. Comes to the circle for a shot, just missed it wide. Recollects his own rebound. Back out at the point, Body, another shot looking for a deflection, sticked aside by Richardson. Gathered in the corner by Bayer. Back out to the point, across now for Body. Fans on that shot, but it still gets its way over to Jackson. Body, little one-time pass looking for Jackson, and it caught him on the backhand. Controlled by Murphy. That shot pad save. Richardson, he'll hold on. Little over 10 seconds to go on the power play. 6:17 to go in the period. A quick second period. Not many whistles here in this one. Bayer on to take the draw. Wins the face-off. Pad save made by Richardson. Comes back to the point. Shot, another save made by Richardson. It's loose bound in front, and it's chipped to safety. Farmingdale trying to get this one out, and they will finally do so. Rolls back on the stick of Birch. Colin Birch intercepted, and now Farmingdale take it back. Back to even strength. That shot goes over the net. Michael Malandrucolo on it for Farmingdale, sends around for DeAndrea. He's unable to get on the other end of it, but a nice little check there. Gets the puck back in the possession of Farmingdale. Try to spin that one on the stick of DeAndrea. Now moving in with speed is LaFata. That shot deflects over the net. Played up the far side boards and kept alive. And moving in with it, but ultimately losing possession of the puck there was Merviak. Comes out to Lena, and Farmingdale have to reset and get onside. They'll send it in deep. DeAndrea first on it, sends one across, nobody home. LaFata back on it for Farmingdale, sends it down low for Lavoie. Lets it go to DeAndrea. The near side boards to Lavoie to DeAndrea. Give and go, and it just rolled off the stick of DeAndrea before he could get a shot on. Lavoie puts that one out in front, no one there. Spins one across. Back on net, it's blocked. Lena keeps in at the blue line. Now it comes back to Lavoie for a shot. Pad save, rebounds loose out in front. They score! Christopher DeAndrea buries the loose puck. It's 4-0 Farmingdale. See DeAndrea cleaning up there in front of the net and celebrating his 7th goal of the year. For nothing, Farmingdale State Rams. Lena chips that one to Dixon. He scores! Brendan Dixon, 5-0 Farmingdale. Loose puck, one-timer, Brendan Dixon. How do you do? 5-0. Coming just seconds after they made it 4-0. It's all Rams here in this one as they continue to dominate Sacred Heart at all levels of play. Dixon now with 2 points in the game, a goal and an assist. Comes across for Manzi, who fires it out. Foot race to the loose puck, and it's going to be won by Sacred Heart, thus forcing the icing. Jensen disagreeing with the call. Not quite sure what he saw there. It's pretty clearly Brendan Koenig got there first for Sacred Heart. Nevertheless, we're going to see the faceoff come to center ice. Perhaps Jensen, it was quite convincing in his argument. Faceoff at center. No icing. One forward by Sacred Heart. They'll just fire it right in the Farmingdale end nonetheless. Edward Jackson. Nice little move there. Tries to chip it in deeper. Nice defensive play, though, made by Farmingdale. Jackson once more fires it in deep. Played off the boards and shipped not quite out of the zone. Solid keep-in once again by Jackson. Saccone resets for Farmingdale to try to get it out. Glove down. Perhaps call a hand pass. So unlike the NHL, hand passes at any quadrant of the ice are whistled down. Of course, the NHL, you can hand pass it in the defensive end. With no harm, no foul. We'll see a face-off to the left of Richardson, won by Sacred Heart. That one just deflects across the crease. Kept alive by Benante, but it comes all the way back down. Onto the stick of Noah O'Neill. Backhands it up the near side boards, and Sacred Heart try to outlet, but that pass just too far, out of the reach of Brendan Murphy. Chipped out off the boards, not quite. Kept alive by Sacred Heart. Benante chips it in further for Sacred Heart. And we'll fire that one across the zone where it can be settled down by Saccone. Fires it out onto the stick of Body, who'll fire right back in for Sacred Heart. 5-0. Farmingdale State College Rams leading Sacred Heart as they'll chip it out of the zone. Nice play there by Facette. As the puck careens back into the Farmingdale end and comes right back out. Carrying across and getting a long-range shot that finds its way into the glove of Richardson off the stick of Noah O'Neill. Richardson has stopped everything that has come his way in this one. All 16 Sacred Heart shots. Meanwhile, 19 of 24 on the other end of the ice for Birch. It's James Birch, by the way. Some more conversing between the benches here. Almost every single Farmingdale State College Ram on the bench is halfway on the edge of the bench, chirping at the Sacred Heart bench. You'll love to see it. And it's a power play. Power play opportunity for Sacred Heart. I missed that. Controlled for the moment, but cleared out by Merviak. Goes the length of the ice and rolls on to Birch, who sees it go into his stick with his pad down to prevent any catastrophic errors from occurring. Onto the stick of Marizito. And now Sacred Heart start up the other way. Nice, great penalty killing, great defensive play made, and taking a big hit in the process there was Ian Riberich. Well, they let him play. Sauced up the far side, but out of the reach of its intended target, but still Colin Birch able to get it in deep. Played for the moment by Malandrukalo, turns it over, and a backhand shot, score! Beautiful backhander, banks it off the post and in off the stick of Thomas Bayer, and it is 5-1. My apologies, thought I queued up the goal there. See it now. No, we will not. Bit of a technical error there. Nonetheless, minute 49 to go in the period as we drop the puck at center. Can Sacred Heart build on the goal, or will it be all for nothing? We have the rest of the game to figure out that one. Farmingdale keep it in. It's LaFata playing it back to the point. That one whistles wide. Comes back once again to the point for D'Alessandro, and a nice save made. Kept alive once more by Saccone. Pass across looking for DeAndrea, misfires as they have a bit of a tussle in the corner. Meanwhile, skating it out to center and off the stick of Benante. Lavoie chips it out of the zone for Farmingdale. Sacred Heart fire right back in, and that one goes all the way back out. Will it be an icing? It will. 50 seconds to go in the period. Apologies, and there's the goal for Sacred Heart. It's 5-1. Down by 4, 50 seconds to go in period number 2. A chance for Sacred Heart following the icing to really stir up some momentum here if they are able to get a goal before we head into period number 3. It's Jackson on to take the draw. He lost it. Kept alive. Nice play to keep it in there by Birch, Colin Birch. Jackson on his backhand. Tries to maneuver through a couple of Rams, and they had other plans. Long range shot off the noggin of goaltender Birch. Back it comes to DeAndrea, whistles wide. Birch back on it and clearing it out for Sacred Heart. Jackson carries in. He'll draw a penalty in the process. Solid Russian move up the ice from Edward Jackson. Draws the penalty. Puts Sacred Heart back on the power play. It's Michael D'Alessandro heading off for Farmingdale. He'll sit 2 minutes and just about 18 seconds to go in the frame. If they do not score, the power play will carry over, bearing any other penalties. Face-off won by Sacred Heart. Charge to the front of the net, give and go down low, and it does not connect. And cleared out of the zone by Farmingdale. Last seconds of the period. Nothing gonna happen. Fired wide, and that'll do it for period number 2. 2 goals for Farmingdale, 1 for Sacred Heart. Thomas Bayer from Barry Burke for Sacred Heart got them on the board as these teams continue to bark at each other even after the buzzer has sounded. And finally, after a talk from the official, does the Farmingdale State bench clear to head to the dressing room. Brendan Dixon got on the board, assist from Jensen and Lena, and Christopher DeAndrea stays red hot with his goal. Assisted from Noah Lavoie and Luke Lafata. That'll do it for the second period. You're listening to LI Sports Network's coverage of Farmingdale State Division II hockey. I'm Ryan Brownigan. Stay tuned for period number 3 coming right after this. We'll be right back. We are getting set here for period number 3 of this Empire Conference matchup between the Farmingdale State Rams and Sacred Heart. Farmingdale leading this one 5-1 heading into the final frame. A power play for Sacred Heart carrying over into the period, however. Will they chip away at that 4-goal lead as they did to make it 5-1 at the end of the second? Move to the corner. Who's back up top? Shot goes wide. Regathered by Marazito. Bumped along down low was Jackson. Has it back in the near corner. Played along to Murphy. Murphy tried to charge the net. That didn't go. Banks one back to the point. Kinahan to Body. That pass gets blocked. Back on it is Body. That shot does not get through as well. Manzi got in the way of it. Backhanded along. Marazito has it for the moment. He'll go down in the corner. Sacred Heart still come away with it. Murphy on his backhand, switching now to his forehand. The left shot carries it behind the goal line. Back out top. Played across, one-time shot, stick save made by Richardson, and out of play it goes. .1836 left here. Period number 3, face-off won by Sacred Heart. Circling is Marazito. That pass gets blocked. Comes to the near side boards, and out it goes. All the way down the ice, solid clear for Farmingdale. Just 2 seconds and 1, and they kill off the power play. Another opportunity gone by for Sacred Heart to try to get back into this game, make it a 3-goal game. Banked off the boards. Carried up by Marazito. Marazito between the legs of Merviak, but played by his defensive partner. Still able to establish the zone for the moment are Sacred Heart. They'll try the far side as the official took a dip at center ice. Struggling to get it out of the zone, kept alive. Marazito below the circle. That shot went behind Richardson, but did not bank off of him and in as it goes out the other side. Banked off the glass and out of the zone. Lavoie pressuring Body as Sacred Heart come right back into the zone. Marazito tries to play that one back, turned over. Here come Farmingdale, 2-on-1 developing. Shot across, pass across, and not able to get a shot off. Another chance, score! What a goal! Brian Slattery, the former East Islip player. Pardon me, that's not 72, rather 78. It's DeAndrea. Chris DeAndrea's second of the game. 6-1 Farmingdale lead. (6-1) now. Farmingdale reestablishing the 5-goal lead as that puck deflects into the crease where it can be held by Birch. DeAndrea's second goal of the game. He continues to stay red hot. Meanwhile, LaFata lost that one. 2-on-2 the other way. Now becomes a 2-on-3 as that puck rolls on to Richardson, who had a tough time with it and eventually able to hold on. And once again, we see more action after the whistle. And going after Lena there, incensed, was Noah O'Neill. They're still on the ground. Finally, the officials break it up. Manzi ended up hopping in as well. Everyone wanted a piece of Noah O'Neill. It all started, though, when Brendan Murphy went into the boards hard. .1651 remaining in period number 3. We are likely to see some penalties here. We'll get the final word from the official here. The Farmingdale box is already open. Opened by their backup netminder. An official shouting for 20 white. That's Noah Lavoie. Has an assist in the game. Finds his way into the penalty box. Led into this game telling you all that these two are bitter rivals, and they're living up to that name here tonight. Sacred Heart not going down without a fight. Finding himself in the box is Colin Birch. It's going to be at least 2 minutes for Noah Lavoie and 2 minutes for Birch. They'll skate them. Well, let's see if they're coincidental minors. And now James Jensen finds his way into the Farmingdale penalty box. And so it will be a power play for Sacred Heart. Face off to the right of goaltender Richardson. Jackson to take the draw, joined by Murphy to his right. Walsh to his left. Body and Kinahan on the point. There are currently no players listed as in the penalty box for the moment as the scorers table gets things sorted away. And the only penalty that remains is Jensen's 2-minute minor. Power play, Sacred Heart. Starts off with a nice keep in by Kinahan. Now Walsh to Kinahan, just out of his reach, and comes out of the zone. Unforced error for Sacred Heart. Gives Farmingdale a free clear and another turnover. And the puck comes all the way back down in the Sacred Heart end, where it can be controlled by Ryan Walsh. Plays it behind him for Murphy. Murphy carries up the near side boards. He goes down. Eventually it's forced into the Farmingdale end, but we see a whistle and it looks like another penalty. This time, well, we'll see. It appears that Kevin Manzi is heading off. It's going to be a 5-on-3 for Sacred Heart. Huge opportunity for Sacred Heart to get at least one goal back. Face-off is all important, won by Farmingdale and sent the length of the ice. Luke Body picks it up for Sacred Heart, carries up the ice into the zone, rolls off his stick for a moment. He plays it back for Marazito. Now Kinahan. Marazito walks in, nice pass. Oh, just off the stick and out of the reach of Body, who had an open net. Back to Kinahan, that shot saved and held by Richardson. 48 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3 for Sacred Heart. They'll change up all 5. Bayer, O'Neill, among the players out there for Sacred Heart. Farmingdale clear at the length of the ice. Birch settles it down. place for Jason Benante. Benante carries in. Sharp angle around the net, looking for someone in help. Nobody there. Benante brings it to the back. Marizito from a sharp angle, looking for a pass out in front. Nobody home. Kept alive by Benante at the blue line. Shot from Benante, deflected just wide. Rebound. Unable to be cashed in on. It was Burke who deflected that one just wide. 3 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Benante turned it over, and coming out of the box, it's a breakaway. Donnie Pace shoots, save, rebound, score! Short-handed goal for Farmingdale makes it 7-1. As Donnie Pace picks up his 3rd point of the game. It was a beautiful finish from Ian Riberich. That's his first of the year, if I have it right. Nope. Yeah, they're going to give it to Michael D'Alessandro, rather, not 81-91. Michael D'Alessandro, his first of the game, as that one is cleared out the length of the ice by Donnie Pace. Goal and 2 assists for Donnie Pace. Settled down behind the Sacred Heart end and carrying out with it, Brendan Koenig. And Koenig carries in, takes a shot, blocker save made by Richardson. Come all the way out to the blue line where it was batted out of midair. Left without a stick there is Wadika. And that one goes on goal, so no icing for Farmingdale, and that's trapped underneath the blocker of Birch, thus getting the whistle. .39 to go in period number 3. A 7-1 lead now for Farmingdale. Dixon on to take the draw, won by Sacred Heart in their defensive end. Strano trying to clear it out the far side. First attempt doesn't go, second attempt doesn't go. Shot from the point goes wide. Jensen center is one. Comes onto the stick of Kinahan and fires it all the way down. Farmingdale looked to start up the other way. Some pushing and shoving. Nick D'Alessandro on the other end of it. Meanwhile, dances his way in his body. Regathered and shoved down there hard was Victor Dorico. Meanwhile, battle continues, and we'll see, you guessed it, another penalty. Looks like they're going to get the retaliatory call on Victor Dorico, who took a big hit. He makes his way over to the box, and Farmingdale makes their way onto another power play. A chance to really put some hurt on a rival. Well, they're going to even it up as Jensen heads off. We'll skate 4 aside. No power play for Farmingdale. Jensen continuing to add to his team lead in penalty minutes for Farmingdale. Meanwhile, sent around behind the net there by Benante. Lena on it for Farmingdale. Turns it over. Regathered by Benante. Benante still has it. Shot, save made. Great positioning there by Richardson near the top of his crease, giving absolutely nothing for Benante to shoot at. Face off. Kicks out. Thought he had a chance there to move it up was Colin Cross, but instead it's taken back. Walsh around the net for Sacred Heart. As now all that's left to play for is Hart in this 7-1 blowout. Puck careens back to center, where it can be settled down by Walsh. Plays it to Benante. Turned back over. And Farmingdale will start it back up the other way. It's Colin Cross firing in. Out to stop it was Birch. Leaves it for Body, who will fire it out the far side. Moving up behind his net and out with it there is Slattery. Poked off his stick now, and Sacred Heart will bring it back. Fanning on the shot, but taking a stick up high and drawing yet another power play there was Barry Burke. I'm going to get a high sticking call being assessed. Looks to be Luke Ferrazzi. Be a 4-on-3 advantage for Sacred Heart. Get the time sorted out for 37 seconds. One back to Birch. Played it across. Campbell. Back to Birch. Save made. Richardson. Read it all the way. Frozen there by Richardson. $18 seconds left of the 4-on-3. Becomes a 5-on-4 for a minute and 30 seconds or so. Back it comes for Birch. Back across now for the shot. Save. Richardson. Rebound. Oh, stretches out. Great save by Richardson, and more wrestling after the whistle. It would have been a 5-on-4 advantage for Sacred Heart. We'll see what it ends up being after this, as this one continues to get uglier and uglier. Face off to the right of Richardson. One by Sacred Heart, but comes out of the zone. It's a 5-on-3 for Sacred Heart after all that. Controlled, settling it down. Body moves in, shot. Richardson got a piece, goes off the glass and all the way out. $43 seconds left On the 5-on-3, carrying that one in and firing it over the top was Kinahan. Slowed down and recollected in the boards by Murphy. Body, Kinahan, shot just goes wide. Body back on it. Back on across, sharp angle shot, and Richardson got a piece. And another delayed penalty on Farmingdale. That penalty box for the Rams is already jam-packed, and they'll get to try to fit another one in it as soon as we get a whistle. Or perhaps they'll get another player back, and they will not get another player back. There's the whistle. Arguing with the call was Merviak, in addition to his teammate who's heading off, Michael Malandrukalo. And there's standing room only available in the penalty box for Farmingdale. This penalty will reset the 5-on-3 counter. There is no room to put the penalty on the big board at the arena. But still unable to score have been Sacred Heart. Struggles continue. Kinahan lost it, and it's poked out of the zone. It's now a 5-on-4. Just for another few minutes, and we'll have a whistle here. Perhaps a scoreboard error, as I alluded to, with not being able to put the amount of players necessary on the scoreboard. It appeared like there was a 5-on-4 when it should have been a continued 5-on-3. I think that's what they're sorting out here. 4 players remain on the ice, however, for Farmingdale. Face-off outside of the zone. We're back to a 5-on-3. Right back out of the zone it comes. Kalani to the point. Off the stick of Noah O'Neill. This game has really come to a screeching halt. Deflection, what a save by Richardson. Off the deflection in front. He has been fabulous in goal despite the score, and he deflects another one out of play. Well, we've got the power play settled out. It's a 5-on-4 for another minute. Faceoff comes to the back, where it can be controlled by Colin Birch. Birch plays it across for O'Neill. Back to Birch. Winds up, fires. Glove save, Richardson. .8:38 left here in this one. 49 seconds on the power play. And Farmingdale get the clear they need. A perfect penalty kill thus far for Farmingdale, and it's truly an exceptional stat when you consider just how many times they've been on said penalty kill. And icing now for Sacred Heart. Face-off one, there's a shot by Dixon saved. Another is a delayed penalty on Sacred Heart. That'll kill the remaining 15 seconds of their power play off. Back to the point, shot blocked. That one goes wide. D'Andrea plays it out to D'Alessandro. Puck comes all the way out into the neutral zone. Lavoie for Saccone. Up the far side to D'Andrea. Try to pass it on further back to Lavoie. It's behind the net, and it ricochets out of the zone. Richardson out to stop it and fire it around the other way. Pass across doesn't connect, and Sacred Heart clear it out. Breakaway opportunity for Ryan Walsh. It's a 2-on-0. Oh, Luke Richardson! Are you for real? What a save! On the 2-on-0, back the other way come Farmingdale. Lafata. Sharp angle chance, doesn't go. Tries to center one, that won't go, and out of the zone it goes. That clearing attempt goes off the ceiling. We are finally back to even strength. Not something I've been able to say very often.